great neighbor Sweden. Welcome, Simon. He will give a presentation on a specific strand of the eTranslation project called eTranslation Termbank. The objective of which is to identify and collect terminology resources relevant to national public services, administrations and governmental institutions across European countries. Simon comes from, he's a language technologist and comes from the Language Council of Sweden. You probably also take questions after your presentation, so please try to leave 5 minutes at the end of it. So,
yes.
So, varsågod, Simon.
Tack så mycket. Thank you. First of all, I'd like to know whether anybody is using the interpretation from English to Finnish. Nobody? Good. That will make our job a bit easier. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Simon Dahlberg. I come from Språkrådet, meaning the Language Council of Sweden. We are a part of the Institute of Language and Folklore, which is a governmental agency. So yes, I'm here to speak of the value of terminology for automated translation and of this project that we call eTranslation Termbank. So we are one of 9 partners in this project, and these are the partners. Yes, so we are all... oh, sorry, yes, great. Tack. Now you skipped. There we are. Great. Yes, so it's us, Språkrådet. It's TNC, also from Sweden. Terminologicentrum. They are about to disappear, actually, but they are still in the project. And then we have the Icelandic Institute of, the Institute of the Icelandic Language, Arna Magnusson, in the University of Copenhagen, Termnet, International Network for Terminology, Institute Josef Stefan from Slovenia, the Institute of the Lithuanian Language, Tilde, that you've already heard of, and the Institute for the Estonian Language, and I think I've said all of us. Yes, so what does eTranslation Termbank do? Well, we collect and we provide terminological resources of high quality with clear licensing status. Can I use this to skip through, by the way? Yes, I can. Great. Yes, so of high quality with clear licensing status. Not to let copyright be in the way, and in specific domains appropriate for sector-specific DSIs meaning digital service infrastructures, and for the languages of interest. And those are mainly the EU official languages, that are 24, plus Norwegian and Icelandic. So these are 26 altogether. These are also the CEF languages, yeah? So when we say that we collect terminological resources, what do we actually mean by that? So we define it for this project as a set of monolingual, bilingual or multilingual terminological metadata and data in a machine-readable form. And this basically means that we don't accept terms written on a piece of paper or scanned in as an image, because that is not something that a machine can read easily. So PDF is acceptable. It is hard, but it is acceptable. But PNG, for example, is not, I'm afraid. So why even bother about this? Why is terms? Why are terms good for AT, automated translation? Well, the preceding speaker already mentioned this a bit, but I thought that I would give you a few examples from Google Translate. I might make it even clearer. So if you try to translate "I am playing a game on my tablet" to Swedish, you get "Jag spelar ett spel på min tablett." And for those of you who don't understand the Swedish sentence, it actually means "I'm playing a game on my pill." And a pill, well, tablet is a pill that you take for headache or for, not something that you would play a game on. So this is an error that comes from lacking terminology management. This program would need a term resource that tells it to translate from tablet to surfplatta, and not to tablet in this case. And this is another error, maybe harder to address actually. So the English sentence here. Can you see, by the way, this text at the back? Yes, great. So the English text is, "Where is our barrister?" And the answer is, "She is speaking with the solicitor." So obviously, in the English text, the barrister and the solicitor are two different people, yeah? But in the Swedish text, we get "Var är vår advokat?" and "Hon talar med advokaten." And this doesn't really make much sense in Swedish. It seems that she's speaking to herself, almost, right? So you would need some kind of terminology management. Hard to achieve, I would say, really, but something that distinguishes the first advocate, the first lawyer, from the second one. Yes, and then this example makes it even clearer, I would say. Well, the first. The source text is a dialogue in Swedish, which has the term barnbidrag 5 times. I think you actually have barnbidrag in Finland too, right? It's called the same thing in Finlandssvenska. In Finnish, I think it's lapsilisä, right? Yeah, everybody's nodding. Wonderful. So the text is barnbidrag. Barnbidraget är för lågt. Nej, barnbidragen är alldeles för höga. När kommer förresten mitt barnbidrag in på kontot? Och när kommer min mans barnbidrag? So, as you can see in the English text, the translation is different. And it's not just 2 different translations, but 5. So it's child benefit, child support, children's grants, child contribution, and child allowance. So how is the reader of the English text supposed to understand that all these are actually the same concept, barnbidrag? Impossible, right? So to solve this, we would need term management, and a good one. And as you know, for automated translation, we often use English as the intermediate language, right? And if we try to go then from Swedish to Finnish, it becomes even more messy. Now, I've been told that the problem with the Finnish translation here is not only the terms, but actually the syntax and the grammar. Is it this sentence maybe that just doesn't make any sense at all, right? Yeah. Can you see what it says, by the way? All of you? Yeah? Great. So you have lapsilisä, and then I won't even try to pronounce the rest of it. But basically, you can see the connection between this text and this one, right? It's rather clear. Yeah. And this is really a pity, I would say, not only because of the bad translation, but also because, as you know for sure, the Swedish society and the Finnish society are very similar, which is why many terms that are specific to our societies would be rather easy to translate, just like barnbidrag and lapsilisä. But if we go through the British or the English-speaking society before going back to the Nordics, we have to adapt to the British society. So basically picking whatever would be the closest thing to, in this case, barnbidrag, and then we get child benefit. And child benefit is actually a term, but it's not the same thing as barnbidrag. I think it's something that they have like in Australia or in the UK that you have to apply for, and you can only get it if your child has some kind of disease or handicap or something, I don't know. But so this is not only about the translation itself being bad. It's also because it's very hard to go through England or the English-speaking world and then back to here and still keep the same concepts. It's a pity. But if we were to go directly from Finnish to Swedish, or Swedish to Finnish, we would need a lot of data for Swedish and Finnish, which is maybe possible. I hope it is. In any case, I wanted to show you this slide as well to really make even clearer that terms really matter. Maybe you can make out what it is I'm trying to show. On the left half, we have crossed out, we have covered everything that is terms. So the black fields here are covering the terms on the left side, and on the other sides, only the terms are left uncovered, right? And you see that it is a considerable amount, right? A very big part of the text. Now, this is maybe not the case for any kind of text, but it is very clear that you can't just disregard the terminology. Yeah. Yes, and to maybe not to frighten you, but some examples of neglected terminology can be rather painful and costly. So there was this team of German or German-speaking surgeons who transplanted the knees of 47 patients, and in the instructions in German they read "zementfrei," which had been translated from non-modular cemented, which doesn't mean cementfrei. Cementfrei is, as you might guess, cement-free or does not need cement. As a result, all these poor 47 patients had to go through a second surgery. So a lot of pain and costs could have been avoided by just letting this term be correctly translated, right? Yeah. Now, mistakes can be even more tragic than this. In 2001, I think it was, there was an aircraft accident in Italy. I think it was on Linate Airport, that a business jet carrying 4 people collided with a regular aircraft carrying 110 people. So in the accident, all these 114 people died. And in the investigations that followed, they found one of the main causes of the accident to be inconsistent and irrelevant terminology, or to quote the report, non-standard phraseology. So there was one very important misunderstanding that was actually one of the main causes. Yes, now, the main goal of ETTB, well, we can't really promise to save people from surgeries or from traffic accidents, but we do aim at providing new terminological resources to the language resource pipeline of CEF translation. Now, new resource means a resource that is not already in the ELRC shared database. That's what it means. And we collect resources mainly for 3 specific domains, being health, business legislation, and customer protection. Now these 3 domains are actually broader than they might seem at the first sight. Most resources that we identify make sense in some way. Of course, some don't, but most do, I would say at least. And we have these 3 domains because we aim at supporting 3 sector-specific CEFDSIs, Connecting Europe Facility Digital Service Infrastructures. Yeah, so it's e-health, e-justice, and online dispute resolution. I won't go into what these 3 DSIs actually do, but yeah, this is our goal. And well, the outcomes that we hope to achieve is a minimum of 150 terminological resources for all the 26 CEF languages for these 3 domains, and also to create or to establish a stakeholder network called Terminology for Europe in order to achieve a sustainable cooperation within the CEF eTranslation, and a pipeline of terminological resource flow, meaning some kind of database interface that can be used at a larger scale to contribute with term resources. And lastly, case studies and terminology requirement analysis of trans-European and national CEF digital service infrastructures. So these are the TRs, or the terminological resources, that I have made from Finland so far. We are, by the way, my organization is the one in charge of collecting resources for Finnish. These are ones. It's Finto and all these resources that you might already have heard of: IPTC, Juho, Jupo, and so on. Very, very valuable data, really. Kuntasanasto, SLAF, and Julkisen liikenteen sanasto. I hope I said that well. Maybe you ask why TSK isn't on the list. It's because actually the only two resources that they could let go of, that they could share, are actually already in the ELRC database, and the other that they have, they are protected by copyright, and that seems to be a problem not only for TSK. There's this company called Kielikone, right, that has the copyright of many resources, it seems. So it's not that easy to just convince them to share it, of course. Kiitos. Oh my God, huomiostanne.
Okay, tack Simon.
Yeah, so I left 9 minutes for questions.
Yeah, excellent.
Yes.
So there are hungry people. Oh yeah, good.
Thank you. So the idea is to collect terms and then to get the right terms in the empty output.
Sorry?
The idea is to get the right terms in the empty output in the end. All the terms you collect is to make sure they appear.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the final goal. Yeah, that the terms that we collect are actually used in the eTranslation program. Yes.
Okay. And at what point do you insert them somehow in the empty output? Is it during training, or is it after the output is generated and you somehow replace terms?
That's a more technical question. I would say it is in the training. Can you answer that more technical part, Ivaris? This is the part that Tilde does. My organization is more into the communication and collection part, but I would suppose that it is in the training phase. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
We might discuss that in the last presentation by Ivars, if needed. Any more questions, please? They're so stunned by your presentation.
Of course they are.
Please.
So what kind of license would some kind of, if the terminological resource has a CC BY, which is quite open license, would that be?
Yes, perfect. Anything I've been recommended to unrecommend CCNC, meaning non-commercial, right? Because they don't know whether they will sell the eTranslation service or not in the future. It's not been completely decided, but all other open licenses are great. Creative Commons is a very valuable tool. We use it a lot, actually. In Sweden, I can tell you that one license that I have had a green light for a lot is PDM, Public Domain Mark, actually, because being and this is for resources that come from the Swedish administration. I mean, the national administration, public agencies like my own. Because I mean, it is supposed to be a national. What's the term in English? Yeah, the property of the whole country, basically, right? So not the property of only the agency. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. PDM, public domain mark. Yes. For Finnish, we have also contributed with work. The Swedish-Finnish dictionaries that have actually been created by my colleagues working with Sverige-Finska with Swedish-Finnish. Yes. But yes, so yes, CC BY, CC ND, for example, are great licenses. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions, please? I have one for you, or actually for the Prime Minister's office, who has quite a lot of terminological resources. What's your situation in terms of copyright? Are they who owns that resource? Anyone from the Prime Minister's office want to take the responsibility over this? Okay, it's.
Thank you. There are several owners. Our office and also some other ministries have the right copyrights, but you have already those that we have published as an open data. So
yes.
Everything that we are going to publish in the future, we are also going to publish as an open data, so they are all available. And the other ones that we have already in our national Termbank or our government Termbank, sorry, they are not all so updated, and we don't have any resources to make them to publish them as an open data.
I should mention maybe that this project of ours, eTranslation Termbank, will end by the end of February. But I mean, the language resource collection goes on, so it's not only until February that the CEF wants term resources. This is something that will, of course, be needed and required further on as well.
Okay, I'll continue with my provocative outbursts. What about anybody knows about Tieteen Termbank, the term project for scientific and research terminology, which contains high quality terminological resources? Anybody here who knows about the? Okay. You don't want to say something?
It's just been moved to CSC servers yesterday, so that's what I know, but I don't know the internal data structure or anything like that. So.
Do you know who's the owner?
It's what's the Tieteen TSV? What's the? I don't know the acronym. I know the acronym, but Krista should know. Yes.
Tieteen Termbank, that resource is actually CC BY, so that's not a problem.
Did you recognize that? Is it already included in eTranslation? Tieteen Termbank? Scientific term.
I think is it Vetenskapstermbanken? Is it? Yes. I think I've emailed them and I didn't get a response, to be honest.
Aha.
Yeah.
Try again.
Yes, I'll
Should
try
be
again.
accessible. Okay. Well, that was a good outcome of this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sid.
Great.
Thank you.
So I'll try to re-email Vetenskapstermbanken.